Caution. Be careful.
That's 800-993-2480. Free bottles for a limited time. So call now. 800-993-2480. That's 800-993-2480.
If you're looking for easy ways to save money, hurry into Ralph's for the digital coupon event. Just visit Ralphs.com or the app and download your coupons. Then head to Ralph's for hot deals on select varieties of Starbucks coffee, Kroger brand shredded cheese, Tostitos, and more. Best of all, you can use your coupons up to 5 times in one transaction. So visit Ralphs.com today and get more for less at the digital coupon event. Fresh food, low prices at Ralph's. Get ready to save big at Ralph's with 3 days of digital deals. Just visit the app or Ralphs.com right now and download your coupons. Then head to Ralph's Friday through Sunday for digital deals like meat, cheese, snacks, candy, home products, and more. You can use your coupons up to 5 times in one transaction. At the 3-day sale, select varieties of Kroger brand cheese are $3.99 and Keebler Townhouse crackers are 99 cents with card. Fresh food at Ralph's.
The unemployment rate is at a 48-year low. Most people that want to work are working. If you're trying to fill open positions at your business, you'll have to find your next candidate from the currently employed. iHeartMedia can help you spread the word to 93% of the U.S. population. That's right, 93%. Use this radio station to find your next employee driving to or sitting at their current job. The most qualified candidates for any position you have available. We can help. Go to iHeartWorks.com. That's iHeartWorks.com.
So many couples disagree on mattress, which means there's a compromise. One person wants it firmer, one softer. Well, let me tell you about Sleep Number 360 smart beds. Lets you choose your ideal firmness on either side of the bed, so it's just right for both of you. There is no compromise. And these beds are so smart, they actually sense your every move, and they adjust to you, keeping you sleeping comfortably throughout the night. Sleep Number has been ranked the highest in customer.
So it's spring break. That's why my daughter is here.
Now, my Sleep Number, that's the firmest number I have. Mine is 100, and Marjorie's for the first time is matching mine. Right now, save $500 on
I was listening to BTS.
I-10 Sleep Number 360 smart beds.
We get onto the actual live stream now.
No, not when I'm.
I can just sit there. I can just sit there.
Yeah, but my arms flail around. Okay, I don't care. You can sit there. Who votes for my daughter in the background?
Everybody does. How many people are on the live stream right now?
Oh, wait.
All
Wait,
29
hang on.
people.
Here's a little Hava Nagila for you. KFI AM 640 more, stimulating talk. It is Super Happy Local Sunday. Brian sits in here until 10 p.m. or until we run out of Dick Dale. So who recognizes that song? Josh? Did you say you didn't? Were you kidding? It sounds like your bar mitzvah. No. What? By the way, Hava Nagila is I mean, it's not the national anthem of Israel, but what is it? Is it just like a celebration song or something, or a party song, or what? And then oi. And if Dick Dale was there, it would go a little something like that, wouldn't it? Yeah. There's an account on Twitter, the Mossad. It's not really the Mossad. It's a really, really funny guy who tweets as if he's a Mossad. And I told him he has no balls if he doesn't make that his ringtone. The Dick Dale version of Hava Nagila. And of course, California Rocker broke the news that he was dead this morning, and they cited his various influences, including Middle Eastern scales. What did they say? I don't play the guitar. But many others have become part of the American music fabric. He created the sound of the surf guitar by working with Middle Eastern music scales applied to a driving beat, and it was a unique beat. And again, with Josh, Dick Dale, you know what? He was born in Boston, Massachusetts. His real name was Richard Mansour. His father, Lebanese descent. His mother, Polish Belarusian Jew. So that's why you get Miser Lou and Hava Nagila and all that. And so Dick Dale from a varied background, but the family drove out to El Segundo when he was 17. He went to Washington High School, learned how to surf when he was 17, and he just took a big bite of Southern California. And in doing so, became a Southern California a homeboy, one of our own. So they're like as I say, like most of you or your dads, your grandpas, transplants, but came out here and sort of defined the California sound. Well, a fresh crime just this afternoon. By the way, live streaming at unsheepyourself.com. That's how you get to the YouTube channel at unsheepyourself.com. If you have seen a free couch and you think that someone needs to know about it, we are, of course, doing Have You Seen a Free Couch tonight. And it's hashtag Have You Seen a Free Couch. Give us a location and a artfully taken picture, and you can be in the running. It's all by likes. Now, with rain in the forecast, we might have to wipe the board again because there's rain coming up this week. And as we know, rain is basically like the end of a season in Have You Seen a Free Couch? Nobody wants a couch that's been out in the rain. So with rain in the offing, get your entries in because by next Saturday, we're going to be cleaning the table. Police are investigating a shooting at a strip mall after a victim was shot in the face Sunday afternoon in South LA. The shooting occurred at approximately 1:05 p.m. on the 1300 block of West Manchester Boulevard. The victim was transported to be treated, but the condition of the victim was not immediately known. And everyone, as usual, get out your super hyper local Sunday notebook because I have a description for you. Police are searching for 2 suspects. Not even 2 men. Like I always thought the most sort of vacuous, unfocused one you could get is 2 male suspects. It's like what? Amputees? Are they corduroy? Are they paisley? What are they? This time, we don't even get a sex. Police are searching for 2 suspects. So again, if you are a loyal KFI Super Hyper Local Sunday listener, if you see 2 people, get a description, try to get their names. Don't call 911. You can call the regular information line. But if you see 2 people, they might be suspects. And we will get these scofflaws, I promise you. And since this is Hollywood, here's another crime. I haven't seen Bird Box. Who was it? Was it Jawan who had seen it? I haven't seen it. I don't know. Just everyone watched it, and then it became a meme and the whole thing. Apparently, there was a scene in Bird Box, and it was stock footage. And the movie supposes a worldwide apocalypse, right? Where there's a virus or some cosmic ray, and if you don't have your eyes covered, you'll see your worst nightmare or whatever. And that's the premise of the movie. Okay, so great. And so anyway, in the movie, in the Netflix movie, they used stock footage from an actual news event in 2013. It was a train crash in the city in Quebec, Canada of Lac Mégantic, when a train carrying crude oil came off the tracks and exploded into a massive ball of fire. 47 were killed. It's a real news event. It's a real thing that really happened. And the movie uses the stock footage as part of the montage of worldwide apocalypse and the whole thing. Netflix is editing it out. They're taking it out. After everyone has seen it, anyone who wants to see the thing has seen it. So anyway, now the licensed footage is going to be edited out. The owner of the footage, Pond 5, said the footage was, quote, taken out of context and apologized, close quote. Netflix said at the time it wasn't planning to cut the clip, although said it was looking at ways to do things differently moving forward. But I mean, it was just confusing to me that is news and that was even done. Because, for instance, if you're going to do a movie about aliens landing in World War II, you might use footage from Pearl Harbor. And instead of the Japanese attacking harbor, the Martians did it, or whatever, right? And if someone called and said, "Oh, you're bringing back painful memories," you just hang up the phone. That's all I'm saying. So if you're going to see Bird Box, do it before they edit that out, or else the entire movie, the context of the entire movie, without a train crash, it's going to be absolutely ruined. All right, more mayhem, the exploding tanker truck when we come back right after this. If you might have seen it, if you were out driving in L.A., apparently even from the valley you could see the smoke cloud, but in South L.A., a gigantic tanker truck full of gas ruptured and exploded, and you could see the black smoke for 100 miles, evidently, all up and down the coast. So if you saw it, an explanation when we come back. Also live streaming on YouTube at unsheepyourself.com. Unsheepyourself.com. Back right after this, KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. Michael Chapé with the news. Cody Wire Eater.
Yay, now I can actually talk to the fans and not be on the chat, because it's annoying to type what I want to say.
You can type
Of a manhole cover that actually came off the street side.
Oh, you're on the chat? What's the delay on this, I wonder?
Oh, it's very big. See, my screen's very bright. Look, so I wave.
Oh, yeah, it's about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds. Didn't people now, including Monty, says that one person said Reagan makes it even more fun, and then he said, I appreciate every time. Oh, that may mean you. I don't know. It may mean me or may mean you.
Yeah, it is spring break, so I gotta put her somewhere.
We've done this in the past to do it on domestic terrorism against white supremacy that is growing every single day.
Thank you, Vic Monty. You met my dad. Well, I'm a lost cause.
I don't think there should be one to the best path, but I do think that our ticket to reclassification.
Oh, I have gone to Universal. My dad got me a year-long pass.
We're Harry Pottered out.
Yeah, it was fun.
We're Harry Potter heads.
Dad, are you still making the clocks?
Yeah.
I'm the one who needs to cut out the pictures and stuff.
The Kim Jong-un clock. Yeah,
you should make your
I want to see that doc. I wanted to see it in IMAX, but she didn't want to go. Even though she's a NASA fan.
I was okay
All right,
with it.
I have to read Solar Max.
Oh,
Hey, Brian Toots here for Solar Max. Maybe you've heard that the utility companies have recently stopped their solar rebate programs because they don't care about you. Solar Max cares about you. They're so committed to making solar affordable for everyone and putting panels on your roof. They're making up for the lost utility savings with their own Solar for All rebate. Through the end of March, Solar Max's Solar for All rebate, combined with federal tax incentives, gives you one last chance to get historic savings of up to 35%. That could save you an average of up to $7,500 off your solar energy system. And then the system goes in and you start immediately saving a couple $100 per month on your energy bill. Plus, they do everything themselves because they have world-class roofers, installation, design, panel assembly. Yes, assembly. They make stuff in California. The panels are made in Riverside. You get maximum savings. They don't have to drive down to San Pedro and open up a storage box of panels because they make them in Riverside. Do like I did with my SolarMax system. And then, oh, by the way, the financing, the whole entire reason they can do Solar for All, in-house financing, the same house where they make the panels. It's a all-in-one, all-encompassing solution. Only SolarMax does this, so you should only do SolarMax. Pound 250 on your cell phone and say SolarMax, or go to solarmaxtech.com and tell me I'm not telling you the truth. Check all the facts out. Subject to credit approval, CSLB number 972048.
Ding Dong, I can't remember your full username, but I know it has Ding Dong in it. I don't go to school tomorrow because I'm on spring break.
We homeschool her, Mom.
Dad, have you ever sung the Timmy Time song?
Nope.
No.
Captain Marvel looks really boring.
Yeah. Like, okay, it's about women empowerment, but I already know that women can do the same as men. Even though, like, maybe
It looks boring.
The football thing, men are actually built for that.
Oh, jeez.
But, yes, I know that women can do the same thing as men.
What? I've heard that rumor.
So I don't need to see a movie about that. Also, I don't really like superhero movies because if they're super serious, I like Deadpool.
Deadpool's funny.
Yeah.
We love Deadpool.
And also Guardians of the Galaxy.
1 and 2.
Hey, this person says, in your opinion, is it worth staying in California?
What's that?
Someone said, in your opinion, is it worth staying in California?
Nope.
Women can't fart as loud as men?
Oh, wait, I can't hear. What's that?
Rescue Rooter quiz time. Okay, these are the things you can put down in garbage disposal. Onion skins, oats.
You should use K-pop. You should use,
No, Dick Dale died.
I've tried. It's a liquid drain cleaner. It doesn't work. If you're draining slow, you want Rescue Rooter's $69 drain cleaning special right away. Rescue Rooter's available 24/7 and responds in 60 minutes or less. For your $69 drain cleaning special, dial pound 250 and say rescue. Pound 250 and say rescue, or go to rescuerooter.com.
Peck Medicine of USC is nationally ranked in 9 specialties and is one of the top 3 health systems in LA. What does that mean for you? How about relief from pain, the energy to get active, more time with the ones you love? That's the Cap Effect, award-winning care for endless possibilities. Learn more at peckmedicine.org/real. For appointments, call 800-USC-4. Peck Medicine of USC.
In the air. Like pulling teeth to get out of Hollywood for my twisted teeth short right now on the ground. The CDC reports 26 million flu cases so far in your neighborhood. In Santa Ana, Steve Gregory, KFI News.
Live, local.
KFI. And I
Here's a youngster you read about recently in Life magazine. Is all the equipment okay there, Dick? Okay. Here from Boston, Dick Dale struck him and a swing. So let's have a fine hand.
He rarely sang. KFI, M640, more stimulating talk, super hyper local Sunday. Dick Dale, Southern California legend, the inventor of the surf sound, dead at the age of 81. As appropriately, I guess, broken by CaliforniaRocker.com this morning, evidently. All right, back to our content here, super hyper local Sunday. We have a uptake in 187s. We have a couple of 187s. Rialto Friday night, family mourning. 16-year-old Rialto boy died Friday night after gunfire broke out at a large house party in Highland, also leaving a man and a teenage girl wounded. Deputies received calls around 11:20 p.m. Gunfire heard on the 7500 block of Weaver Street. San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department said in a written statement, quote, upon arrival, deputies learned that a large party was being held at the residence when shots were fired. The deputies were also advised that 3 persons attending the party were injured by gunfire taken from the residence by persons at the party. So they were self-evacuated, basically, is what they're saying. The mortally wounded teen was driven away from the party by a private car. The occupants then flagged down an ambulance, which took the boy to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. A 22-year-old San Bernardino man was brought to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A 16-year-old girl suffered a grazing wound in the shoulder. The party attracted more than 200 people after being advertised on social media. No arrests have been made Saturday. No suspect description was available because you understand it's one of those one of those parties where 200 people attend, but they have to, it's a bird box party. You put on a blindfold. When authorities arrive, You take your blindfold off and say, well, how would I know I had a blindfold on? You know, what kind of parties do you guys attend? So there's that. 187 number 2, detectives are seeking clues in the deadly stabbing of a man along Whittier Boulevard in East LA early Saturday morning, 2:25 a.m., 4000 block of Whittier Boulevard. This is LA Sheriff's Department territory, by the way. Deputy Aaron Liu of the LASD's Information Bureau said in a written statement, paramedics took the victim to a hospital. He succumbed to his wounds. His name was withheld pending positive ID and notification of family. No details regarding the circumstances of the stabbing, including a suspect description, were available. He was just a stabbed guy in that case. And not to be outdone, of course, when you say stabbing or shooting at a party, Lancaster always says, hold my beer. A man died at a hospital Saturday after being stabbed during a domestic altercation. Days before, in the city of Lancaster, LA County Sheriff's Department said in a news release, the incident happened around 4 p.m. Thursday, East Nugent Street, borough. The victim, described only as an adult male, was found suffering from stab wounds, transported to the local. Authorities are investigating the killing. No suspect description is available. It's unclear what led to the domestic altercation or who it involved. But I'm going to take a wild stab and say if it was a domestic altercation, by definition, it was probably somebody in the domicile. Plane crash, Riverside. So this just literally on a day like today came out of the clear blue sky. A Beechcraft B-50, a Bravo 50, a fine but fairly old plane, crashing and killing the pilot, but not harming anyone on the ground. Channel 7 KABC from down the street was there.
A deadly plane crash in a quiet Riverside neighborhood. You see behind me here, police still posted outside the scene as the investigation continues into the cause. The medical department clear evidence of just how violent the crash was.
I was inside and I was sleeping when I heard like a bang, and then that's when my brother and my grandma came running down saying that there's a plane.
Not exactly a witness. I mean, I'm just saying. This is Joshua Nunnally, and I'll give him some leeway on the grammar, but he actually did see the actual accident and gives an accurate description.
The pilot reporting engine problems just before he went down.
He was trying to take a hard right, so maybe like do a crash landing or something like that. He pitched up. And then as soon as he pitched up, it looked like all the wind came out from underneath his wings and he went straight down into the ground and there was a big crash.
The plane crashing into a tree, stopping the aircraft from slamming into the home. 4 people were...
And they had footage of they were pixelating out the cockpit area because apparently the pilot was visible. So one witness saying that the engine was sputtering on the way down. Another thing that being the son of an FAA accident investigator, I always look for this in a crash site. The thing that jumped out at me at this, the aerial shots of the house in Riverside, no fire. There was no fire, and for a plane that just took off, there should have been fire, but there wasn't fire. But I ain't saying nothing. I was at a party where we didn't look up at the plane that was crashed. I can't describe anything. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll move to death on the highways. I'm happy to report that Engineer Josh was not involved in the Thousand Oaks crash out. We'll get his opinion on this when we come back. That Road Mayhem coming back right after this on Super Hyper Local Sunday. Brian sits in here until 10 p.m. KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. Michael Chappé with the news.
You didn't do the shot in the face guy yet, did you?
Yeah.
You did the story or you just teased it?
Yeah, no, I didn't. That was the one that said the authorities are looking for 2 people.
Oh, that was a 2 people one? Okay.
I've been holding
yeah, 2
it
suspects.
the whole time.
Yeah, police are searching for 2
Someone
suspects.
said, can we get an update on your Corvid? I don't know what a Corvid is.
What's a Corvid?
No, but seriously.
I'm gonna do ASMR
Oh,
No,
God.
no.
until you tell me what a Corvette is. Hi,
That's not even good ASMR.
I've got a marker.
Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it.
I'm
Dad.
gonna open up this
Let me do it.
dry erase pen,
Dad.
and I'm gonna mark up your face. There we go. There. I'll put it back on. Now I'll take it off. Hey, stop this shit. Stop monkeying around. There we go. That's back. That's no, it's off.
Thank you, ammunition.
No, it's off. No, it's off.
I ruined it.
I don't know. I want some crinkly plastic.
Okay. Are you? Wait. Which ones have you already used?
None of these.
Okay. Is there any paper that I can draw on the back of?
With paper right here.
Okay. Wait. Let me do something.
You can grab any of those. I'm doing ASMR.
I am too. I'm about to do it too. Okay.
Does everyone know what ASMR? There's
Atomic Sensory
there's
Meridian Response.
Who sent you to school?
The
It's a
Oddworld Show.
genre of video where people with soothing voices make.
I actually watch it.
They
It
make.
calms me. It makes me sleepy.
It's
I
so
will
bizarre.
draw your face.
She watches it like a channel.
I do. Oh wait, let me do some slurping ASMR.
So yeah, if you get some time, check out ASMR. Like I have an app that just plays rain. You know, that's basically all it is. It's soothing sounds.
Wait, can I go on Google and open up?
No,
a
you can't.
window?
No, you can't touch this computer. I actually need it to play a bumper and stuff.
Okay, go onto what is on your recommended? What is on your recommended? No, I'm not cute. I'm kind of a devil, but it could be. It actually could be. It calms you, so it actually could be good for PTSD.
Hi, I'm Reagan. Sorry, Reagan's. What do you mean Reagan's gone? Reagan's right here.
No, this is the real Reagan. Here. I'm going onto YouTube to show everybody ASMR.
Okay, but there's a bubble of inviolatability.
I'm going to ASMR PPOM. Oh, it's called Wedding ASMR. Okay. I actually watched this. Ew, bad.
I should point out it's been like 2 months since it was a wrong way multi-fatality.
This is a brutal one, too. That's some Japanese one?
No, that's Korean.
She's speaking English?
No, she's speaking Korean.
I will say this, it does put you to sleep.
Yeah, I use it. No, it's not a sexual thing. It's actually just really.
No, it's like when a man goes to the barber and you kind of get tired and sleepy because of that sound. It's like a really, really, kind of like a repetitive, boring sound, like a radio show about home improvement or something.
Oh, you're dragged.
No,
You were. Well, to me, it's not like nails on a chalkboard, but if it's like that to you, then it's like that to you. Sometimes they do personal attention ones.
I'm gonna do peeing sounds videos.
Ew, that's not.
That would be huge.
Vic Monty.
I can see if there's farting noises.
Oh, wait, does that exist? Fart ASMR?
I don't know.
Probably.
Farting
Oh, good God.
noises. Oh God.
That was the cloud of LA.
Oh Lord.
Oh, come on.
Oh Lord. No. This one is called 99 Different Farts. I'm scared.
Is it actual ASMR though? They have the good quality microphone and everything?
No, these are just farting
So
noises.
it's not worth my time.
We've used the most of our money since the beginning.
Oh, ASMR with chocolate. Uh-oh.
With chocolate?
Yeah, so that's what ASMR is, just different stuff. One of my favorite ones is a woman play acting like she's a nurse combing lice out of your hair. I'm not kidding
Is
you.
it Diamond ASMR?
No, it's Gibi or whatever.
Oh, Gibi or GB? Yeah. My favorite is the ASMR PPOMO, the wedding helper. Yeah. I actually am okay with the noises.
What do you,
40 seconds.
40 seconds, okay. Yeah.
Reagan,
Yeah.
did you see any of these Grindelwald movies?
Oh, I've seen one of them.
Which one?
I've seen the first one.
Is it good?
I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
Why? Is it boring?
It just wasn't Harry Pottery enough for me.
Listen to Disgraceland and over 10,000 more podcasts on the iHeartRadio app. Your music, your stations, your podcasts, all free.
I can't whistle.
Big money. Who buys a 64-ounce Big Gulp anyway at the 7-Eleven? I mean, they're 5-gallon, literally it's going to be 5-gallon tubs. Bill Handle. Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. It is the Super Hyper Local Sunday in America's littlest big city, Los Angeles. Everything you need to know. And by the way, if you're out there on Amateur Day, if you're out there partying on St. Patrick's Day, then know this, that the Los Angeles Police Department and Sheriff's Department, in fact, all of law enforcement in the SoCal are out there doing emphasis patrols. And you may cap your night off, in fact, in an actual paddy wagon, which would be the ultimate irony. I would, if I were LAPD, I would festoon the actual paddy wagons in green and the whole thing. And you know, I'll look that up, but I mean, it's one of the more racist names that we tolerate. Paddy wagon. It's not Patty. It's not Patty. It's Paddy, Paddy. No, what is that? Oh, really? Are they just face down, drunk? Well, it's because Irish people are known to be thieving, lying drunks, and so that's why. No, but except that we all agree they're thieving. They're thieving, lying drunks. And so that's why we still call vehicles that transport dirtbags paddy wagons. Because all you paddies belong in a paddy wagon. And hopefully, watch by tomorrow, there'll be a, change.org thing at the White House or something, or a GoFundMe to rename police detention vehicles from paddy wagons to, and let's all agree, the one group we can still make fun of are fat people. So it should be called tub wagons. Yeah, it should be morbidly obese. Sergeant O'Leary, call the morbidly obese wagon, and let's get these criminals off the streets. Yeah. So I didn't care really when I was smashing migrating butterflies on Thursday or Friday, but then all I've seen all weekend long are these drippy stories about the painted lady butterflies flying through California. And what a majestic migration it is as they wing their way through Southern California, making their way up to the Pacific Northwest, probably to Sequim or Port Angeles or possibly Port Townsend. Scientists estimate the teeming painted ladies number in the millions. Well, not after I got in here today. Because there's so much attention on the things, I feel bad when I'm hitting them. And I know we gassed up on the way in. I've actually found $3.15 a gallon gas. We gassed up, and I took the window washer, and I'm easily like I'm like a triple ace. I mean, I had dozens on the front. I did the windshield. I was already at 8 kills on the windshield. Then I walked around to get to the other side of the windshield, and I saw the grill. and it was ugly. It was carnage. And they're all stuck there in there. You know, they're and you know what's crazy is monarch butterflies are long and thin bodies. They're sort of like you see a butterfly tattoo, usually on the lower back. These things are more like moths. I mean, I'm seeing them in slow motion right before I hit them because of the nightmares. But really, how do they get it up there? How do they get up there in 4 weeks? Really? But they're more like moths. But substantial rainfall in the deserts in Mexico has led to unusually large swarms, and we are seeing the crap out of stories about them. And so I feel bad when I hit them, and it's not many bugs I can say that for. Well, oh really? Oh, that's pretty long for a bug. Isn't that long for a bug? You know what we do this time of year? We go outside and we get young praying mantises. We bring them inside, and that's our fly trap. I learned that trick growing up in Hawaii. We bring in praying mantises, and they be up in the curtains, and then put them on a slightly open window with a screen so the mantises can't get out. The flies go to that screen, and then the mantis just walks up and goes, hang. Yeah, you talk about. Now, it's not that I'm anti-chemical or whatever. I couldn't care less. I just want them dead. It's that it's really cool to have these things on your windows and then watch them do their work, because they had their little heads move around. And they have like hands and stuff. So praying mantises, bring them in your house. They just hang out till they're hungry again, and then you feed them flies. So if you're watching on the stream at unsheepyourself.com, here I'll hold up a picture. This is a Twitter picture of the cloud in downtown LA. A gas truck blew up. It wasn't an accident. It was just parked there, and it was leaking gas into a sewer, and then it went bluey.
Very active scene here in South Los Angeles. You can see live behind me here, on Broadway. This area remains shut down. You can see the work crews down the street here on Slauson working in one of the manhole covers. They're still trying to clean up all of the gasoline that spilled into the sewer system following that explosion. Just take a look. This was the scene. All of this happening around 7:45 this morning. Residents said they started...
And by now it's all cleaned up and the smoke had dissipated. But if you were up early this morning, around 8:20, which is not early, unless you're still time lagged. But what the explanation that we're not getting is, okay, if this gas truck was sitting there and it was full, but it was leaking into the sewer, I still don't understand what the combustion source was. If it was leaking down into the sewer, I mean, do people throw cigarettes down the sewer, or what was the combustion source? And why don't they got to go down there and find that? I guess. And you know what? I just thought of something. I don't know. Maybe when you drive over a manhole cover, it creates sparks. I don't know. Or maybe that. You know, I don't know. But the smell was so rank that people called the gas company. They thought it was natural gas, which I don't get. This gasoline smells nothing like rotten eggs. You know, I don't know what you folks are putting in your cars these days, but gasoline smells nothing like rotten eggs. Rotten eggs smell like rotten eggs.
Initial fire right where two women who were working at a nearby taco stand were standing. Both of those women were injured. One is seriously with burns. Residents say they couldn't believe what happened and were surprised by that sudden explosion.
As she's walking back into the house, it just exploded. It's a big explosion, so she just ran into all the rooms and told everybody to get up. So I ran to the front of the house and started watering down the roofs of our house. There's 3 houses and then the neighbors' houses.
So I don't know. I don't know how they might have let it just burn out. I don't know if they could have put it out, but they might have just let it because the actual tanker truck itself was actually ruptured. And it didn't look like there was anything left in it. And so, and looking at the still picture of the black cloud, the petroleum cloud, apparently it's about 10 minutes after it exploded. That's a big cloud. And I have been in countries where they just let oil fires burn. And I'm here to tell you that's a lot of gas burning there. So anyway, apparently prevailing winds blew it out to the ocean. So no harm, no foul, not our problem, not our fault. No, it was parked and leaking. It didn't even. I think it had tractor hooked up to it, but it was just parked at some mechanic's place or something. I don't know. And that's where I kind of wonder. In California, everything is somewhere on the black market. Agricultural diesel or heating oil, red diesel is sold as regular commercial diesel all the time. And they had a racket doing that out of Burbank. Why not? Are people black marketing gas? Skullduggery. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was ugly. Straight out of the keg. I mean, that was like that was a gasoline pipeline. And they're just lining up with buckets. What could go wrong? So there you go. We'll come back next hour with the El Sports Ball Caliente. Kevin Figures, the Hot Sports Ball, with hot takes about the NCAA tournament and whether or not LeBron was on the edge of trade. That and more coming up. Hour number 2 of Super Hyper Local Sunday. Happy St. Patrick's Day, all you thieving drunks. On KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk.
Yeah, I can talk now.
Yeah, with Tom Bergen closed, what's the point? It was the ultimate Irish bar. Tom Bergen is closed, so what's even the point of having St. Patrick's Day? All I know is if there's an Irish bar in LA where you look up and the Edge is having a Guinness next to you, then that can take the title of Irish bar. But Tom Bergen's, not only did Cary Grant pee there and Bing Crosby pee there, but I look up and someone from U2 is having a beer.
Dad, I'm going to show you this.
That's the best I can do today.
Dad, look at this.
Oh, I think I remember that.
This is my...
Yeah, that was...
Oh, oops. I see it. This is my edit. Oh, wait, I need to fix the sleeves. Uh-huh.
Brian, do you like Vietnamese food?
Yeah. I love the pho. There was, I think it's down here. There's a chain called Pho King.
Really?
Most people call it Pho King, but it's Pho King.
Oh, God, that's awesome. Didn't they change their name or something like that? I thought I heard there was like an uproar or something. Too edgy.
I don't know. I think, actually, look it up. I think it's a chain.
Fucking.
Does anyone know, is Pho King, is that a chain of Vietnamese soup restaurants? I know there was a bunch in Portland and Seattle.
There's a fucking food truck.
And that's why it's Sofa King, by the way. The Sofa, because it's because their commercials are Sofa King low. Our prices are Sofa King low.
God, how brilliant on those guys' part.
Yeah, the Avros are Cal Fire, and they're out of Fox Field in Lancaster, and this is the time of year that they can safely practice and not be deployed because there's not going to be any fires for another 3 months or 4 months. So yeah, the Avros are all at Fox Field right now because they fly like I could throw a sandwich up and clog an engine. Yeah, I'll look up the etymology of
Did you just hear that noise I made?
paddy wagon.
In Downey, 605 north at the 5, the crash starting to clear. Slow go from Firestone. Baldwin Park to the east of Fuente, an accident in the right lane backing up from Baldwin Park. A stall in Westminster.
I don't know how I make that noise.
Taking away your right lane. Can't find the sky. Let's get you there faster.
Oh, that was very big. Nope.
One of these followers has 3 different prices. Depending on the flyer or phone book you pick up. Get the same order, one
I should probably make an intro for vehicular deaths.
In general?
Yeah. I get Mitch McConnell.
He's just like, he looks like a turkey gobbler thing.
Yeah.
What are those
He
called?
looks like Tippy Turtle.
Tippy Turtle.
Okay, I'm done with my edit. Okay.
Super Hyper Local Sunday with Brian Suits.
That was her.
Breaking news from Hollywood. People stabbed.
Thanks.
Looks like we're coming to a stop out here. The door is open.
At
The guy
least
is getting out
acknowledge
of the
it.
You know,
At least acknowledge it.
I'm sorry, but believe it or not, I'm a little inconvenienced right now with the radio show.
Yeah, this is not going to end very well.
That's why I'm voting for Eric Garcetti.
Super Hyper Local Sunday with Brian Suits. KFI.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday. Brian Suits in here until 10 p.m. with all the local news that you need to know so that you can win your Monday. And if you, I don't know about LA Unified. Is LA Unified on spring break? I'm not entirely sure. Don't know. I know that other districts are on spring break, and I know that because I'm accompanied by a minor tonight because tomorrow is spring break. So she wanted to come in and see how radio is done. So streaming at unsheepyourself.com. That's how you get to the YouTube channel at Dark Secret Place. If you have seen a free couch, again, take a picture of the couch, give us the location, and post it on Twitter at Have You Seen a Free Couch. I believe coming up on the 52nd week, we still don't have a prize. So for the winner, you'll be able to walk around and say, yeah, you won. Well, it was the murder that launched a million theories in 2015. We have to break from the local story here real quickly because the Freedom of Information Act has been answered. Radio Free Europe putting this in about the 2015 Washington, D.C. death of Mikhail Lezin, a wealthy Russian who started RT, Russia Today, which is effectively now the official mouthpiece, TV mouthpiece of the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin. RT is, if it's on RT, it is Russian government policy, period. Well, he had a nasty accident in his hotel room, and he didn't fall out of it. See, he's in his hotel room in 2015 in Washington, D.C. There are some who say that he was seeing people close to Putin drink radioactive tea or falling out of windows or whatever. That if you got in with Putin and then you suddenly wanted out, you didn't get to choose the exit, if you know what I'm saying. And because he anticipated a possible head-first exit for him, he was in Washington, D.C., and the rumors are that he had the dirt on Putin and that he was going to defect. I don't believe that because if you're going to defect and you're in Washington, D.C., you don't check into a hotel. Regardless, the very next day, he was found dead in his room. Toxicology showed that he was probably inebriated. But the method of death was described as blunt trauma. And it was theorized by D.C. police, and the Russian embassy signed off on this, that he probably fell in the hotel room and hit his head and just died, like you do. Well, the Freedom of Information Act has been answered, and the actual forensic report is in. How did he actually die? He was drunk. No one argues that. He didn't fall out of the window. No one argues that. How did he die in the hotel room? His neck was cleanly broken. Yeah. Documents released by the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner show that Mikhail Lezin's hyoid bone had been completely fractured. An official whose name was redacted is quoted as saying such breaks are, quote, commonly associated with hanging or manual strangulation, but that it was also possible that the bone was damaged during the autopsy. However, I bounced that theory off an individual known to me for several years who was one of the premier forensic pathologists in the U.S. military, and he said laughable. Absolutely laughable. The hyoid bone, by the way, this is the one that it doesn't bear any weight, but if someone wrapped their arm around your neck, even playfully, they could break it. And in manual strangulation by garrote or rope or someone's arm, it's a signature break that indicates that someone other than you broke your neck. And so anyway, that's how he died. It was a total accident. The official ruling was that he died accidentally of blunt force trauma. And this, by the way, this is from the pathology. This is from the forensic report. Quote: died accidentally of blunt force trauma after falling repeatedly in his room while intoxicated. So you're just going to get up and fall down until your neck is broken or something. Anyway, there is intrigue surrounding the case. It seems odd for someone his age to die of blunt force trauma while alone in a room. There's also a gap in security video footage for the hours after he was last seen alive. The police report eventually released to the public has been heavily redacted. Above all, there's a long history of high-profile Russians turning up dead or seriously ill in foreign countries. So here he is, just walking around, just walking around, and he, he fell, he's dead. So there you go. Meanwhile, back here on the roads, a nasty weekend here in Los Angeles, and this is up to 6 p.m. or so. We don't answer for anything after about 6 p.m. A woman was killed and a man was injured when their car overturned in a single vehicle traffic collision in Thousand Oaks Saturday night. This is a Ventura County Sheriff's Department. 11:54 p.m. Officers responded to the collision in the area of Urbis Road and Westland Avenue. We go to our Thousand Oaks expert, Josh. Am I saying it right? ERBES Road. Ha! Here's my second attempt. Urbies. Oh, there you go. Herbs. How do you get herbs out of that? The driver, a 46-year-old man from Thousand Oaks, suffered serious injuries and was transported to a local hospital. The passenger, the 38-year-old woman from Canoga Park, was ejected. Major injuries, transported to a local hospital, pronounced dead. An investigation revealed that the pair were in a vehicle traveling north on wait, I don't say an H. I say it like Americans. I say herbs. That's an easy one. But, in all the Harry Potter movies, they say herbs. Herbs Road, approaching Westland Avenue, and the vehicle collided with a tree and then overturned. Authorities didn't identify the victims yet. And I'm going to take a wild stab. As they say, speed was probably a factor. As well as other stuff. We stay in Ventura County. A 14-year-old boy riding a skateboard was struck by a vehicle that fled the scene in Ventura Saturday night, leaving him injured as police continued searching for the driver. The 911 call came in for the 10,900 block of Darling Road, 10:16 p.m. He was treated by first responders at the scene, taken to Ventura County Medical Center for further treatment. He was in stable condition in the hours following. So investigators say, by the way, the victim was not wearing a helmet, riding his skateboard westbound in the roadway on Darling when he was hit by the suspect vehicle as it traveled eastbound. Vehicle did not stop and the driver did not try rendering aid to the victim. No description of the driver or vehicle has been released by police as authorities continue to hear the bonk and off he goes. And so, it's a minor miracle the kid's alive. So anyway, skateboarding without a helmet. 3 men and a woman died. Fiery head-on collision. Lake Matthews in Riverside County early this morning. Early Saturday morning, 5:10 a.m. A 2001 GMC Sierra driving westbound on Cajalco Road. I'm going with a soft J on that. Cajalco Road, like La Jolla, or is it La Jolla? East of Gavilan Road, collided with a 2006 Chevy Avalanche. So it's Chevy versus Chevy driving eastbound on the same road. CHP said in a written statement, the Chevrolet, which is also GMC, caught fire upon impact, engulfed in flames. Both male passengers were pronounced dead at the scene. The GMC's 56-year-old driver, a man from Paris, also pronounced dead. 52-year-old female passenger, also from Paris, suffered major injuries, transported to the hospital where she died. So we don't know. 5:10 a.m. It is still dark. So because last Sunday we sprang forward. So I don't know. 5:10 a.m. Either someone is ending their drinking day, or they're just starting it. But we will never know because all parties are dead. A suspected DUI collision in Torrance. A woman was arrested Saturday in a suspected DUI collision that killed a pedestrian. The collision happened at around 6 a.m. in the area of Crenshaw Boulevard and Maricopa Street. 2018 Nissan Sentra, south on Crenshaw, on a green light when the vehicle collided with a pedestrian walking westbound outside the crosswalk. Paramedics arrived at the scene, treated the victim, who sustained major injuries. He succumbed to his injuries and died at the scene. The driver, Erica De Leon of L.A., a 30-year-old woman taken into custody because officers recovered suspected narcotics from the driver and suspected her to be operating a vehicle under the influence. So she's DUI, but keep in mind, she's got a green light. The guy's outside the crosswalk. And again, this is 6 a.m., and 6 a.m. is still dark. But so anyway, we'll handle the rumors about whether or not Michael Jackson is actually Paris Jackson's father. But never mind that. TMZ says it was a suicide attempt. So we'll delve into the world of entertainment with that right after this. It is the Super Hyper Local Sunday, your chance to get ahead of the news before it's even news or after it is news, and you'll win your Monday. Back right after this, KFI M640, more stimulating talk. Michael Chappé with the news. What?
Did you see that?
Why is the cop hanging on?
Maybe he got stuck.
Why? So these are a couple guys on dirt bags on the. Oh, they're racing? What the hell are they doing?
A group of them.
Look, she's already back on the tablet.
I've been on the tablet. I've been
What's that?
making my edit.
He has a cake in there. There's a card.
No, I didn't know. I don't know.
Look, Dad, I want to show you this edit I made. I just need to finish this last bit of it.
I want to have the answer to Paddy Wagon, by the way.
Okay, and so this is the edit I made. This is what I've been.
Wait,
You can post
did
it
you
on
hit?
Instagram.
Did you hit play?
What do you mean by that?
Wait, show me that.
Oh, this is the edit. I'm posting it on Instagram. Because I just got Instagram a couple of.
She's really good with the graphic programs. Very creative.
If you go to my YouTube channel.
And what's your YouTube channel?
It's called Rainy Moons. I renamed it today. It's called Rain. Okay. You know how with O's you can make a O with a slash in it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Rainy Moons.
Oh, a zero. That's a zero. The slash tells you it's a zero, not no.
Oh.
That's called an artillery zero. And an artillery 7 is a 7 with the line in it. So that we don't shoot something at 2 when it should be 7. So you put a slash in it, that's why it's called an artillery 7. Or an artillery 0.
Let me do it.
New staff today
So this is
apparently
what it
totally
is. Let me
ignored
turn the brightness down so you can actually.
Jackson story. I had it last night.
I guess so, yeah. I guess so. I haven't heard it, yeah. Yeah, not this coming Thursday, but Thursday after. Like, I guess that would be like April 7th or something like that. So not this coming Thursday, but the Thursday after, probably Arcadia. But it might be in the Valley. The new one in the Valley, we like the one in the Valley.
Are you filling in for anybody?
No!
Aw.
I've been frozen out. I don't fill in. I don't fill in for Gary. There's a no Brian rule. basically on
Okay, let me show you some of
Don't
my
Fill In for Conway.
10 out of 10 content. Okay.
Can you get, I just printed something over there. Would you be a lamb and go get that for me, please?
Okay, this is an edit. Well, it's not an edit. It's an animation I made. Kind of need to turn the brightness up for this. Let me see if you can still see it. Yeah, you can. Okay.
True, you talk faster when your phone has only 1% battery left.
Okay, and I use Fillmore, so that's just a watermark. Let me get to another one.
True, it's so easy to switch and save on car insurance at Geico.com. Why are you talking like that?
Gotta go. I'm taking time to Taekwondo and I only have a...
From London to join with us and pay tribute to the
So if
Dubliners.
you want, you
Here's a
can
number from the
subscribe.
Dubs with
Please.
the Pogues.
I only have 8 subscribers. Sorry, Dad. Are you subscribing yet? Are you subscribing?
We're gonna do some Pogues and Dubliners when we come back.
Don Cool was standing in line at a convenience store when he saw an elderly man fumbling in his wallet and digging through his pockets. Embarrassed,
This has 2 names: Corn Checks and Bud Light.
2 6-packs of Bud Light,
See?
reached down and scooped a $5 bill off the floor. He told the old man he saw it fall out of his wallet. The man completed his purchase and left the store. That's when Don Cool saw the young man return one of his 6-packs of beer to the cooler. I wish I had been there with Don that day. I would have offered that young man a job again because I know he cares about people and I know he has character. If you know air conditioning or if you know plumbing and you care about people and have character, I want to be there. You're going to love, absolutely love, working at him. Put the pedal to the metal, call him. GUETTS. There's nothing better, but it's hard to spell.
A minute. It's his birthday. We could throw him under the bus in the air too.
I know, I don't like doing that.
The SoCal Honda dealers are at it again with another random act of helpfulness. The guys in blue will be hosting their
Dad, look at this.
Honda pet adoption events across SoCal throughout the month.
Is that BTS?
Yeah, I don't know who that
And
is.
BTS is at the Rose Bowl in May.
Yeah, and I may be taking there, maybe.
So who has a daughter between say 8 and 13 who's going? We can form a drinking club. Okay, you got to turn that down because I'm. Don't make it a thing. Don't worry about it. I'm good with the fill ban.
On the 4th of July, 1806, we set sail from the street called the Cork.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. It is super hyper local Sunday. Brian Suits in here until 10 o'clock. We'll have the winner for hashtag Have You Seen a Free Couch? This is the music that Irish people listen to as they're stealing stuff or getting drunk or making bombs. So there you go. The Dubliners and the Pogues. the world's drunkest man. What's his name? The lead singer of the Pogues, who is still alive. For the record, he is still alive. Well, I do have the etymology of paddy wagon here. Now, let's just hope that you folks don't wind up at one, shall we? And I'm not sure. I guess they do that for events and stuff. When they set up a checkpoint, I think they do have. Occasionally, they'll have coolers or paddy wagons. So why are they called paddy wagons? Well, this is according to Wikipedia. Early police vans were in the form of horse-drawn carriages. The carriage being in the form of a secure prison cell, as we all know. The need for a secure police van was realized when prisoners who were resisting arrest needed to be transported. The etymology. The precise origin of the term is uncertain and undisputed, though its use dates back to the 1800s. There are 3 theories as to how the term originated, and this is laughably politically correct. And in descending order, theory number 3, paddy wagon was originally a nickname for patrol wagon. In the same manner, police cars are called patrol cars today. No. No. Yeah. No, this is, hey, let's get back in the paddy car. Said no cop ever. Said absolutely no cop ever. Sorry. All right, here's theory number 2. And wait for the punchline. In the United States, paddy was a common Irish shortening of Patrick in English, which was most often used in the 19th century as an ethnic slur to refer to Irish people. Irishmen made up a large percentage of the officers of early police forces in many American cities. Thus, this theory suggests that the concentration of Irish in the police forces led to the term paddy wagon. Yeah! Nah, not so much. That's right. Well, wait, is his name Patrick or Patty? Patty? Is he a drunkard who steals stuff? Oh, yeah, there you go. He's a racist. However, this is theory number 1, and that's in ascending order, most likely in my world. The most common understanding in the United Kingdom, who were experts on the Irish, also stems from the belief that the most common occupants of the vans were Irish, though they were not driving, if you knew what I'm saying. They were the arrested passengers. This comes from several perspectives. A, prejudice by English people that the Irish immigrants were largely common criminals. B, from the legendary stories of their fighting spirit and the fact that when arrested, they were less likely to go quietly than other nationalities, requiring the use of the van, blah, blah, blah. C, that the Irish liked to drink so much that drunken brawling would often ensue, and thus the police van would be called to take them away into custody. I'm going to go with theory number 1.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Cup sacking girl agrees. It's called a paddy wagon because Irish people were in the back because they're drunken thieves. And that, of course, is a stereotype that's held over from the 19th century. We do know that the Irish have contributed so much to this country, from the great Christopher Columbus right up to the great Enrico Fermi. The line forms here to admire the Irish, and that's my Godfather 2 reference. All right, Paris Hilton out of the hospital. She's hit back at reports that she was rushed to hospital. I'm sorry, Paris Jackson, Paris Hilton. Oh. Dr. Freud, line 3. Paris Jack, no, but she hasn't poisoned our airwaves in years. So long life to Paris Hilton. Yeah. Paris Jackson, who's totally Michael Jackson's daughter. I mean, you can totally see it in the spelling of the last name. Anyway, she's hit back at TMZ. The troubled daughter of Michael Jackson took to Twitter amid allegations from TMZ that she was in stable condition after an incident in the wake of the Leaving Neverland documentary. TMZ said the parents have been taken to hospital and have been placed in psych hold. Paris responded to a fan who said they were upset to hear that she had attempted suicide. She said, quote, lies, 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 OMG, and more lies, close quote. That's a direct quote. So besides the spelling of, yeah. The 20-year-old earlier this year checked herself into rehab, was filmed lighting a bong, which Joey tells me is a device for smoking marijuana, and inhaling deeply. Last week, she raised concerns by posting a video of herself smoking the bonge just days after hitting out at the Leaving Neverland documentary. The model, an aspiring musician, also revealed that she had purchased a new acoustic guitar. So there's That's huge. So anyway, and why wouldn't she be an aspiring musician? It's in her blood. I mean, it's in the sperm donor's blood, and apparently he owned a dobro. So we'll be back in just a second with El Sports Ball Caliente with hot takes about the NCAA tournament and LeBron James, the rumors flying around that he was nearly traded back in January. Right after this, it is the obligatory sports break in KFI M640, more stimulating talk. Michael Chapay with the news. Oh. The VBTF. So was that emailed? So the mochi upstairs is up and running again?
Yep.
So we just paid $10 for mochi over at Whole Foods.
Don't think of it like that. Just think of this like your bonus mochi here.
Yeah.
That you'll get, include that all in the $10 purchase.
Yeah, we have free mochi here at. We don't have a good health plan, but we have free mochi. And I'm Brian Suits for Solar Max. You may have heard around the campfire that utility companies recently stopped their solar rebate programs. They did. However, SolarMax Technology is so committed to making solar affordable for everyone that when they put the panels on your roof, they're making up for lost utility savings with their own Solar for All rebate. I did air fingers. Through the end of March, SolarMax's Solar for All rebate, combined with federal tax incentives, gives you one last chance to get historic savings of up to 35%. That could save you an average of up to $7,500 off your solar energy system. And who cares? Because once it's in place, you start saving hundreds every month in your utility bill, being down there in the single digits. SolarMax can make this offer because they're the only solar company that does their own financing in-house. Oh, you know what else they do in that house? They make the panels because the house is a factory in Riverside. Californians are making solar panels. They're not driving down to San Pedro and cracking open a container ship. They're making them in Riverside. That's why it's even cheaper to get them to your house. They also have world-class roofers, all of it, installation, design, the assembly. Don't miss your chance to save up to $7,500 on solar. Reserve your rebate now because Solar for All expires at the end of March. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say Solar Max, or visit solarmaxtech.com. Subject to credit approval, CSLB number 972048. Yeah, we did pretty much the first hour, I think, was about California poppies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told some amusing anecdotes about the California poppy, and then she talked about some of her favorite poppy stories. And then we shared an amusing anecdote about this one time where we ate a bunch of California poppies, and we saw multiple fingers. It was pretty cool, but you missed it. It'll be on the podcast. Am I right?
Yep.
For your $69 drain cleaning special, dial pound 250 and say rescue. Pound 250 and say rescue. Or go to
And since you're late, you did not see my channel promo. Go check out my channel, Rainy Moons. Well, if you want. Or you can stay with my dad.
Well, you can subscribe to multiple.
No, I mean like you can keep watching this. Or.
You know what? Everyone will say like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse because they do make a great steak. Musso and Frank. I love Musso and Frank just because of the history of the place. And if you go to Musso and Frank, be sure to ask to sit in the Orson Welles booth because his phone, there's still a phone, a rotary dial phone is still at the Orson Welles booth at Musso and Frank, a piece of LA history, not a tourist spot. But Morton's, downstairs, Morton's, can't beat it. Can you get, I printed that over there. Would you be a lamb and go get it?
That's the second time you told me. Now I'm a sheep.
You can just...
No, now I'm an unsheep.
Yeah, Offutt is flooding. Offutt Air Force Base is flooding. And this is stupid. It should not be like Eglin Air Force Base where they lose 20 F-22s. I mean, it's a flood. It's coming. Just get the planes out of there.
Dad, are you
yeah, how much time do we have? Oh, no, can you get it?
Food.
Try asking your smart speaker to play KFI. Getting KFI station from iHeartRadio. If nothing happens, I don't know. Go get a smart speaker and do it again.
KFI AM 640 more stimulating talk. It is super hyper local Sunday. Ryan sits in here until 10 p.m. Again, hashtag have you seen a free couch? If you have seen a free couch, if you have an old nomination and you want to re-enter it, you can do that. Keep in mind we have rain in the forecast, and that usually wipes the board, so you can't let it ride. You know, if you have a good one and you've been resubmitting it for 3 or 4 weeks, waiting for it to come up, maybe be that week where it could be the contender, you might want to post that tonight because if that couch is out and it rains, then it's no longer eligible. Because really, seriously, nobody wants that. That's just flat out gross. Well, the NCAA brackets are out. The Selection Sunday show, they're at 3 p.m. We watched it live, and I watched a lot of college basketball this weekend. And because this is, while I love regular season, if I owned an NBA team, I would love it. If I was, the athletic director of Tennessee or Gonzaga, of course, I would love the regular season because you're packed. But for the viewer, regular season basketball, not so much. But now that we're in the tournaments, the Pac-12 tournament just wrapped up, Oregon winning it, an automatic bid. And your number one seeds, not a huge surprise, Duke in the East. And don't worry, they'll go out in the second or third round. Virginia in the first round in the South. And I have it on good authority. That'd be Tim Cates, your Bruins maven down the hall at AM 570 KLAC, that Tony Bennett, the Virginia head coach, Cates has his eye on him for UCLA. And that could be because UCLA needs something. In fact, the entire Pac-12 needs something. But anyway, Virginia's number one seed in the South. North Carolina in the Midwest is number one. And in the West, it is Gonzaga, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They're not the Zags. They're the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They are the number one seed in the West. And then we have the first four. This is a thing they do now. The so-called play-in games start on Tuesday, and that's the reason they do this is because in every bracket in the 4 East, West, South, Midwest, the number 16 seed is left empty, and there are 8 teams that play Tuesday and Thursday to win in, as it's called. So those start on Tuesday. And do you care who those are? Okay. NC Central, I'm assuming is North Carolina Central versus North Dakota State. Farley Dickinson, he's really good against Prairie View. Belmont versus Temple. Arizona State, a shameful Pac-12 team, is playing against St. John's, and so the deal there, the Pac-12 just putting up a miserable display. But Washington, Oregon, Arizona State are in it. Kevin Figures, El Sportsball Caliente joins us. Let's start with shaming the Pac-12. I mean, have you seen a more dismal season of basketball out of this conference in your living memory?
That was snacks.
Yeah, and if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be Washington. You know, Oregon won their way in, but if you win your way in because you won the Pac-12, it's not really a highlight on your resume. But Washington flat out has a lot of wins. But I give up. I'm not. You know, I have been over the Pac-12 in basketball for a long time. There's no superstar coaches anymore. There's no great coaches make great teams, and there's no great coaches in the Pac-12. Yeah, because here's the breaking news. Arizona did not make it. They did not make it. So because your connection is kind of loose. So let's get to this. I heard this rumor over the weekend that I guess in January possibly that Jeannie Buss, controlling the majority owner of the Lakers, either said something out loud or actually contemplated trading LeBron. Look at this, where this cough machine's there. So she was trying to stick it back in his agent's face and all that. Real quickly, yes or no, is it believable or is this urban legend? Yeah. So, all right, I got to let you go because the connection's really bad. But thank you very much. And there's I never do the picks on the bracket. I never say, hey, make your pick. But I'm going to say this right now: Gonzaga is going to win. They've been close. They've been real close. I think this is the year that the Gonzaga Bulldogs win the NCAA championship. And boy, will they be partying out there on East Division Street at John Stockton's parents' bar. So, we'll come back right after this. The winner of hashtag Have You Seen Free Counts, the winner at the box office, and some more stuff right after this in KFI Super Hyper Local Sunday. More stimulating talk. Michael Chappé with the news.
I'm going to do some ASMR, but eating ASMR.
That was a really bad phone connection if you didn't hear it.
Yeah, we got in touch the
They have
first 3
cereal
times I
in
called
the
him,
office.
and he
What the hell?
He couldn't hear us at all.
I texted him.
He said that he could only hear us when we were on speaker, or when he was on speaker. Don't forget, next Saturday, Elon Omar's in town.
Oh, that's right. 1,000 Oaks or no,
It's my seat now.
55 bones.
I'm the one at the mic now, Dad.
You got total control now, Reagan?
Yep. Watch out, Dad.
Check out psychological. Well, check out the podcast and your drive on the freeway.
Homeowners insurance is boring.
Solar Max, Solar Max, Solar Max.
If you're like most homeowners, you may find that your policy doesn't have the coverage you thought it did. Hippo is changing that with smart insurance at up to 25% less than you're currently paying. Checking your rate takes 60 seconds or less, and you can cancel your current policy anytime.
This is so weird.
I'm watching you right now.
This is so weird.
And safe. Go to myhippo.com/handle. That's myhippo.com/handle.
Oh, I just had the perfect idea for
There's
eating
81
ASMR.
people watching you. Just eat your crackers or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna. I will, but first I just need to do something beautiful and majestic.
Play some cake. Oh wow, nice.
And then put my mouth out.
You look like a horror movie character or something like that. Voldemort maybe, or I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm going for.
This is on the south
This
side
hurts
of
my nose.
605. This all takes you through Center Lane, stacking you up from Lakewood. Downtown LA, troubles continue 10 east.
What are the comments?
For a big rig, oil
Right now?
taken away
Yeah,
from
do you know?
Saying hi there, Reagan Suits. They think you should pick the bumper music.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just gonna pick some K-pop.
That's what they said. They said play some K-pop.
Oh.
They want to know if your dad's gonna be on Kennedy this week.
Oh yes, that is the best idea. My dad would be
To
fired.
lock the door.
Oh, he's all right back. Bye. I was sticking my mouth out and eating.
What do you, Carrot Top?
People are saying that I should do the bumper music.
Are you Carrot Top doing visual comedy? Oh, is that one yours?
Yeah. It's the higher chair. Oh God, now I'm gonna become stuck. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. No. I need to show my great escape. Oh, darn it! Last time it was very hard to get out.
See, we have a philosophical difference at home because sweatshirt drawstrings should be even. They should be like this.
Fine.
Right? They should be exactly even, right? Like that.
He has an OCD. He just in the middle of
And
a
this
conversation.
this freaks me out to have one high and one low.
In the middle of a conversation, he just looks at my
Because you might tip over.
Because in the middle
So I don't get it.
of the conversation, he looks and he's
Because
like,
the point is to tie a knot. You know, not to like.
she'd make a better fill-in than Mo Kelly.
Well, there's an official
See how
rule you
messy
can't.
My hair is.
We don't comment on other people at the radio station, so don't put me in that position.
No, they're putting me in the position. But I can't be fired from anywhere. No, it's fine. You're putting me in the position. So I can't get fired. Dad, they said
I'll be
that
sure
I
to
should
say
pick
that at the exit hearing, at the exit interview.
Dad, they said that I should pick the bumper music.
Okay, which Blackpink song do you want?
Oh, okay. I want Blackpink doo 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 doo. So maybe just look up Blackpink doo 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 doo. No.
It's like
Oh yes, let's play this commercial. Yeah.
German.
Yeah, this part.
But I need it.
Well, I'm going to the part where they say hit you with that doo 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 doo.
It's up here.
Wait, go to the part
No,
where they say
I'm a radio professional. All right.
Look at them in that pause position. Look at Rose's hair.
I'm a radio professional. I know
Looks
how
like
to cue
the troll
that.
from the troll movies where it's like. Wait, you mean K-pop? Oh! You accidentally said coop.
K-pop.
Oh! Hi, Becky. Oh, hi, Beck. I just.
I just saw an advertisement for a protest against Elon Omar at the Woodland Hills.
Really?
Yeah, to counter.
That's Captain Crunch.
So what day is
Oh, wait,
she?
not Captain
Saturday,
Crunch.
How much time are we in?
I picked the.
Oh wait, I didn't. Can you reprint that music video shoot featuring fake kidnapping?
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't see the. I might have thrown it away.
That was me trying to use the X spell on it, but it did not work. What TV show does Reagan recommend? Oh, I recommend I'm Sorry.
I'm Sorry on True TV.
And Quietly Bleeding. That's the
is
best
the episode.
Oh, or Actually It's Everything.
By the way, the show I'm Sorry
Here, Becky.
on True TV, I absolutely recommend. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen on TV. And if you live in Southern California and you're married with a kid or kids, you'll shit yourself.
Oh, wow. Becky's watching.
It is so funny.
Becky is watching. How dare you? My Captain Crunch. Why did I keep calling it Captain Crunch? It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Go back. Wait, go back.
KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk. Of course, legendary Irish band, Blackpink, there in honor of St. Patrick's Day. And by the way, so I guess it is okay to call it St. Patty's Day. If Patrick is Padraig, then yeah. Well, but then the people go, no, it's St. Patty's. But we just found out that Patrick is the English version of Padraig. So, Paddy, there was a deadly accident, Pico and Robertson, in downtown L.A. Apparently, we're just watching that breaking. I didn't see, was it at the end of a chase or something? But anyway, a fatality accident here during Super Hyperlocal Sunday. So, police in California are advising the public it's unwise to pretend to kidnap someone, duct tape your victim, and use a real handgun in the fake scenario. Officers responded to a kidnapping call and discovered it was a music video shoot. San Dimas Sheriff's Station says officers responded to a call about a possible kidnapping on Highway 39 in the San Gabriel Mountains. Officers said the caller told police he saw two suspects pointing a gun at a victim whose hands were duct taped near a black BMW. Deputies responded, conducting a high-risk traffic stop, detaining three men. After some investigation, however, police determined the three men had been filming a music video. The sheriff's station also advised would-be video producers not to carry a shovel or have their victim pretending to break free and get out of the trunk. Authorities also determined the handgun being used as a prop in the video was, real. One of the men was arrested for misdemeanor weapons charges, and so there you go. Well, you'd think, but maybe it was a small handheld camera and someone was driving by. And it looks to me, as I hold it up to the live stream, I'm going to say that's a Makarov. I'm going to say someone had a Makarov, 9x18 Makarov. And one of the famous last words on the movie and TV set, I'm pretty sure these are blanks. That's how Brandon Lee was killed on the set of The Raven. That's how John Eric Hexum was killed on the set of his TV show. He held a pistol with blanks in it up to his head, not realizing that blanks basically are about a half powder charge of a regular bullet. But if there's nothing between that charge and your noggin, if there's not a foot of air or something, then you're going to the Crow. That's right, not the Raven, the Crow. So it took his own life with blanks. So that's why we have weapons wranglers on the set. It was a wacky psych gag. No, seriously, bro. Watch his blanks and put something. He doesn't point it at his craft services lobster bisque. He put it up to his head. So that happened. And rest in peace, John Eric Hexum. At the box office, I gotta say, really not a lot to get me out. I really tried selling Captain Marvel on the daughter because I'm all about like the empowerment. Wait, am I about impairment or empowerment? Pick one.
Oh my God, I choose that
So,
one.
I mean, I sold Captain Marvel. I said, oh, no, come on, sweetie, it's a female hero. And she's a fighter pilot, and she's from space, and she has all these superpowers. Let's go see it. And she just said, meh.
Yeah.
No. And you know why? It's because the Air Force was filming like a promotional video out at Edwards Air Force Base with all female pilots. And they were doing a thing for Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel was supposed to be an Air Force pilot. So the Air Force had this reunion of all these female pilots. And it just so happened that they had this event on a Friday night, and we were at the restaurant where these women all got together. And so she met a bunch of like actual real life women who fly F-22s and stuff. And this one woman posed with her. This woman had a B-52 pendant, a gold B-52, you know, and I knew not to ask her, is that your husband's? You know, she's a 18-year Air Force veteran, combat missions in Afghanistan. You know, a B-52 pilot. So you know that's all the Captain Marvel she needs is like the real life Captain Marvel. Yeah. So saved me $38. Meanwhile, though, Captain Marvel is still number one. Total take on that 266 million. So you're going to see more of those. What? Well, I understand that. Here's the thing. I guess if I paid the money and walked in for the credits, that would be worth it. But but sitting through Captain Marvel is something up with which I shall not put. Yeah, and that's what sucks when they put key stuff that you have to know in the credits of the crap movie. You know, so I know. So the thing to do is go to a movie you want to see, and like Apollo 11, the documentary, and then sneak into the last 15 minutes of Captain Marvel. Anyway, it's still killing around the globe and the whole thing. All right, well, I honestly, this is my first take at hashtag Have You Seen a Free Couch? And as always, the prize is personal pride and achievement. As always, however, Powerball's up to 550 million. So if you send in a picture and you win, have you seen a free couch, and you buy the winning lottery ticket, you can pretty much credit that. Well, as we peruse through these, producer Joey, I'm seeing some that wouldn't even make the final cut.
I mean, there's a lot of disheveled,
a couple weeks ago,
tossed apart couches here. It looks like maybe tornadoes have been running through the streets of Los Angeles. I don't know. There's mattresses all over the place.
I can tell you some that stand out. One of them is Adam Bine for two reasons.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he took a selfie with him presenting the couch, which is pretty toe up, very toe up. And he also gives us a proof of life on the location. It's in Santa Fe Springs, Jocelyn, and Jersey. So I like what he did. Very creative.
I love the selfie shots. I mean,
yeah,
it just adds that extra dimension, a little humanity.
We like seeing you enjoying a couch. Jason Ballard and his Twitter feed at TS Soprano.
I don't know if that was actually a free couch, though.
We don't know where this is. The sign, there's a 3-cushioner, and then there's an overstuffed chair, and it says, it looks like there's a price on it.
I see something, it looks like it says like $50 OBO.
Oh.
So I don't know if this one could actually, be in the room.
OBO means it's not free. So,
entry, though.
You know what he gets? He gets a participation medal.
Okay.
So there you go. So in your judgment, the winner is who has the most likes.
That's right. Yes.
Who wins?
Winner tonight. It is Jim at Yoda Economics for his plush brown sofa set in perfect condition. And that was on Harvard and Council in Ontario.
Excellent. And
awesome. It's great. What's that? It's like a long set. That's a full corner kind of 5, 6, 7 person seater. I don't know how you would do it.
Yeah, we do have a best foreign language couch. This is from Paul Martin at Junk 2 Drive. The Arizona Department of Transportation gives us a well-used easy chair on the side of the freeway, the L202 eastbound near McClintock Drive, apparently outside of Phoenix. So that's the best foreign language free couch.
Where's that one from?
That's from Paul Martin at Junk to Drive.
Oh, I love his profile picture. Look at
always
that.
has the greatest shot. I don't know how he finds all these ones on TV. All these
He's got the eye.
Like on footage, it's tremendous.
You know, he's got the eye. He's the Steph Curry of Have You Seen a Free Couch? You know, give it to Paul.
Good job, man.
That 3-pointer.
At Junk to Drive.
All right, that is Super Hyper Local Sunday. By the way, heads up, everyone. Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is at a Southland Mosque next Saturday. $55 tickets, so please enjoy. Yeah, so I think Josh is. Josh and I are going. Yep. And I'll wait. You know what? Can I borrow a skull cap? I will Ben Shapiro that thing. I will Ben Shapiro that. All right, that is it for Super Hyper Local Sunday for the 17th of March 2019. Everyone have a good week, and we will see you back here next Sunday. KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk.
Bye. Are we going to do this stream right now?
Yep.